So hello everyone, my name is Tushar and in this video I'm going to cover the features of federalism. So first keep in mind what is federalism. Now let me read it for you. Federalism is a system of government in which the power is divided between the central authority and various constituent units of the country. So the definition is very clear to all of us that there is a particular head or the particular constitution or the particular government in a country, and that government is actually has divided its power to multiple groups such as state government, local government, etc. Now let's come upon the features of federalism that I am concerned with. The first feature is there are two or more levels of the government. What do we mean by two or more levels of the government? In the first chapter we learned about the levels of the government. Okay, so like it is a central government, is it a state government, it is a local government as like India. So any country which has two forms of government or two levels of the government. Let's take an example of like central government and the state government. So they do have, so in a particular country we do have a state government and central government. So that country could be considered as a federal country. Moving on to the second point, different tiers of government govern the same citizen. Okay, but each tier has its own jurisdiction in specific matters of legislation, taxation, and administration. Now, first, let me tell you the meaning of jurisdiction. The jurisdiction, the area over which someone has a legal authority. The area may be defined in the terms of geological boundaries or in the terms of the kind of other subjects. So, in the second point, it says that let's take an example that in a country there are a lot of people. In India, we have 130 plus crore people residing in India. So central government is actually focusing upon all the people of the country. Now let us concern about the UP. What is happening in UP? So in UP we have BJP. BJP is looking over the people residing in UP. And let's take an example of Lucknow. Lucknow is a metropolitan city. Lucknow is a modern city, and in which we have municipal corporations. So the people residing over there have been governed or have been under the authority of municipal corporations, and that particular group of people is under the state government also, and that number of people are also under the central government also. So ultimately, all three tiers of the government have been ruling that particular area or the particular area in which the people are residing actually. So this is what the second point says. They have their own jurisdiction or the powers. So they do have their own powers with related matters. Okay. Now the jurisdiction of the respective levels of the tiers of the government are specified in the constitution. Now their jurisdictions, okay, their legal authorities have been specified in the constitution, so that the existence and the authority of each tier of the government is constitutionally guaranteed. Their authority and their existence has been clearly guaranteed within the constitution. Moving on to the fourth point. The fundamental provisions of the constitution cannot be unilaterally changed by one level of government. Such changes require the consent of both the governments. For example, there is a particular law and that needs to be amended, and that matter is related to the levels of government. So not only the central government is responsible or can unilaterally change that decision or that law, it requires the consent of both the levels of the government in that country. So for example, we are talking about UP. So their consent is required of the central government as well as the state government. Then only that law or that particular bill could be amended. Moving further, fifth point is the courts have the power to interpret the constitution and the powers of different levels of the government. The highest court acts as an umpire if the disputes arise between different levels of the government in that exercise of their respective powers. So in class 9 we studied that Supreme Court, High Court solve the disputes. Now the courts play a major role in the levels of government also. If there is a dispute among the different levels of the government, then whom they should concern? They would be concerning to the supreme apex authority, which is the Supreme Court of India. So Supreme Court of India would be hearing the cases of both the levels of the government, and according to that basis they would or they can interpret the constitution. They can change the particular thing that have been told in the constitution for the people's good. Okay, and it acts as an umpire in the game of cricket. It is the only loyal, because it is not biased to a particular level of the government. That is why we are concerning, or the levels of the government, if the disputes arise, they are concerned with the Supreme Court of India. Sixth point: sources of revenue for each level of the government are clearly specified in the so as to ensure the financial autonomy. So financial autonomy is also again specified within the constitution. Again, the same point has been repeated. Only the financial autonomy has been included. Now the last point, the seventh. The federal system thus has a dual objective. It has a dual objective. Let's go on to it. So the first one is to safeguard and promote the unity of the country. Unity of the country is the most important thing, because if we won't be having unity in our country, then each people would be fighting against them. So it's very much important. While at the same time, accommodation of regional diversity. What is regional diversity? For example, there is a particular region in a country and other particular region. So that two regions need to be accommodated somehow, that the clashes does not interact or the clashes does not develop between them, so that the people can live their life with easy basis, as well as there won't be any trouble to the government also, and ultimately making the smooth functioning of the country. That is what we are concerned with. So here we end all the features of the federalism, and I hope that you all like the video. If you do, subscribe our channel and hit the like button for such videos. So till the time, stay tuned and goodbye.